Welcome to another episode of Deep Dive into Real Estate by Team Luddy Dillon. This is the place where we simplify real estate for you, one topic at a time. Enjoy.
All right, so open houses. We all know they can be a bit of a
spectacle.
Yeah, kind of. Like a chance to peek into your neighbors' lives and, check out their decor choices.
A little bit of harmless snooping.
Exactly. But let's be real. The main purpose is to sell your house right. So today we are diving deep into how to make your open house a success.
Turning those curious onlookers into serious buyers.
That's the goal. And speaking of expertise, we're part of Laddie Tillon's real estate team here in the Peel region.
That's right. Brampton, Caledon, Mississauga, we cover it all.
And Laddie's been in the game since 2007, so...
You could say we know a thing or two about making a house shine.
Exactly. And we love sharing that knowledge to help everyone make those smart real estate decisions.
Whether you're buying, selling, or investing, we're here to help.
Absolutely. So back to open houses. First impressions are key, right? I mean, I once went to an open house, and the second I walked in, it smelled like...
Wow, no, don't tell me.
Like a tuna sandwich that had been sitting out for a week.
I can only imagine. You're not kidding about first impressions. And you hit the nail on the head. The sense of smell is powerful.
It's like instant association, right? Good smell, good feeling.
Exactly. It's directly linked to memory and emotion. A bad smell. It's a no-go. But a pleasant, subtle fragrance.
That's inviting. So what kind of scents work best? We're not talking about baking cookies all day long, are we?
Not unless you want to. But honestly, light, clean scents are your best bet.
Like what?
Think citrus, vanilla, maybe even fresh brewed coffee. It's about creating a positive atmosphere without going overboard.
Keep it subtle. And you know what? One of the best tips I ever heard is to have your real estate agent do a smell check.
Ah, the neutral nose. That's smart.
They come in, give it a sniff, and tell you if anything needs attention. They're used to it.
They're pros. And speaking of things that might need a little attention, let's talk about our furry friends.
Pets. We love them, but...
But they might not be everyone's cup of tea, right?
Yeah, some people have allergies or fears.
Exactly. So during the open house, it's best to make arrangements for your pets.
Like pet sitters, or maybe a friend can watch them.
Ideally. Or even if they can be in a less trafficked area of the house.
Away from the main action.
It's about making sure potential buyers feel comfortable and safe.
And speaking of things that can get in the way, let's talk about clutter. Now, I'm not the tidiest person.
We all have our moments.
But even I know that a mountain of shoes by the front door isn't exactly a selling point.
You're not wrong. Clutter is a distraction. Buyers need to see the space.
And picture themselves living there.
Right. A clean, clutter-free home. It's like a blank canvas. They can mentally move in their own furniture and decorations.
It's all about potential, isn't it? And hey, decluttering is basically a head start on packing anyway.
2 birds, 1 stone. But while we're talking about getting the house ready, what about music?
Oh, music. Should we have music playing? What kind? I was thinking something upbeat.
Like what?
Maybe some 80s pop. Get people in the groove.
I see your point, but...
You don't like my 80s playlist?
I'm sure it's great. But when it comes to open houses, you want to be careful with music. It can be distracting.
Oh, so no blasting my favorite tunes.
Maybe save that for later. If you do have music, keep it soft, neutral.
Like background noise.
Exactly. Gentle instrumental music, or maybe some calming nature sounds.
Okay, all right. No dance party during the open house. So we've talked about smells, pets, clutter, music.
The essentials.
But how do we make the house itself really shine?
Presentation. That's where the magic happens. Let's start with light.
Natural light.
Especially. Open those curtains, let the sun shine in.
It makes such a difference, doesn't it?
It creates a sense of openness and energy. Who doesn't love a bright, airy space?
And speaking of feeling good, we want to remind everyone that we're all about sharing information to help you make smart choices when it comes to real estate.
Absolutely. And if you're in the Peel region, you're in luck.
We're part of Laddie Dillon's real estate team.
And Laddie has been helping people buy, sell, and invest in real estate in the Peel region since 2007.
So whether you're in Brampton, Caledon, or Mississauga,
Laddie's team can provide expert guidance and support.
they really are a wealth of knowledge. And if you're thinking about making a move, give Laddie a call at 905-598-0725.
Before you make that final decision.
So we've covered a lot of ground, from scents to staging, but there's one more crucial element we need to discuss.
The homeowner's role during the open house?
Yeah, the vanishing act. I gotta admit, the thought of disappearing, while strangers are walking through my house?
I know, it sounds a little strange, doesn't it?
But we'll dive into that after quick.
But we don't have any breaks in this episode, so let's get right into it. This is a big one. The homeowner's role during the open house. It might feel a little counterintuitive.
It does. Like, shouldn't I be there to answer questions and show off my place?
I get it. But trust me, potential buyers need to feel comfortable. Imagine yourself walking into a house.
And the owner's just kind of hovering there.
Yeah, you'd feel a little awkward, wouldn't you? Like you couldn't really relax and explore.
Definitely. You wouldn't want to open a closet or anything.
Exactly. It's like being a guest in someone's home. You want to be respectful, but you also want to be able to see everything.
So we should just disappear. Hide in the basement.
Not quite. You don't have to go into hiding. But it is best to step out for the duration of the open house.
Let the real estate agent handle things.
Right. They're the experts. They can answer questions, point out features, and really guide the buyers.
So it takes the pressure off us as homeowners.
And it lets the buyers experience the house without feeling like they're being watched. It's a win-win.
I like that. Win-win. Okay, so while we're talking about presentation, one of the articles we read mentioned staging. It's not just about cleaning, right?
No. Staging is about creating a lifestyle. It's about helping potential buyers imagine themselves living there.
Like setting the stage for their own story.
You got it. But I know what you're thinking. Isn't that a bit impersonal?
Yeah. Like making it look like a showroom or something.
It's a good point. You want to find that balance between showcasing the potential
While still keeping it warm and inviting.
Right. You don't want it to feel sterile. One of the best tips I ever heard was to focus on creating vignettes.
Vignettes, like little scenes.
Exactly. Little moments within each room that tell a story. For example, in the living room, you could set up a cozy reading nook with a comfy armchair, a throw blanket, and some books.
I love that. Makes it feel lived in, but still stylish.
Exactly. It's about sparking their imagination, helping them connect with the space.
Speaking of connection, one thing I've never really thought about is the flow of the house.
The flow. So important. You want the layout to feel natural, intuitive.
Like how easy it is to move from one room to another.
Yes. Think about how people naturally walk through the space. Is there a clear path from the entryway to the main living areas?
So it's not just about how each individual room looks.
It's about the whole experience, the journey through the house.
You're guiding them through a story.
And just like a good story, you want to leave them with a lasting impression. So yes, the final moments of the open house are just as crucial as the first.
So we've talked about creating a welcoming atmosphere, the importance of staging, the flow, the vanishing app.
Hitting all the major points.
But before we wrap things up, I want to circle back to something we touched on earlier. The emotional aspect of selling a home.
It's huge. It can be so bittersweet. You're excited about the future, but also maybe a little sad to say goodbye.
Absolutely. One of the things we read talked about reframing the experience.
How so?
Instead of dwelling on the goodbye, focus on the excitement of what's to come. New adventures.
I love that. It's about embracing change, new possibilities. And speaking of new possibilities, if you're in the Peel region and thinking about making a move,
We have a fantastic resource for you. We're part of Laddie Dillon's real estate team.
Laddie has been a trusted advisor in the Peel region since 2007.
Brampton, Caledon, Mississauga, they know it all. Whether you're buying, selling, or investing, Laddie's team is there to guide you every step of the way.
They're passionate about helping people achieve their real estate dreams.
And make informed decisions. Give Laddie a call at 905-598-0725 before making your final decision.
Great advice.
Okay, before we wrap up this deep dive on open houses, I want to leave our listeners with a little something to think about.
Ooh, I like where this is going.
Imagine you're a potential buyer walking into your own home for the first time. What's the one thing?
The one thing that would make you fall in love.
Yes. What creates that wow factor, that feeling of, I'm home?
That's such a great question to ponder. It really gets to the heart of what makes a house a home, doesn't it?
It really does make you think, what makes a house a home? It's amazing how these little touches can change the whole feel of a space.
Absolutely. And it's funny because we're talking about open houses, but these tips...
They apply to just living in your home, too.
Exactly. Whether you're selling or just want to enjoy your space more, these ideas can make a big difference.
It's like a little recipe for a happier home life, a well-presented home, a sense of well-being.
There's definitely a connection there.
Oh, for sure. But, we should also acknowledge that selling a home can be tough emotionally.
Absolutely. It's a big life change.
Especially if you've lived there a long time, raised a family,
So many memories tied to a place. It's natural to feel some mixed emotions.
It's like closing a chapter.
But you're also opening a new one. Remember that. It's a chance for new beginnings.
New adventures. And if you're in the Peel region and thinking about starting that new chapter,
We know just the team to help.
Laddie Dillon and their team, they've been helping people in the Peel region since 2007.
Brampton, Caledon, Mississauga, they've got you covered.
Buying, selling, investing, Laddie's team is there to guide you every step of the way.
Give them a call at 905-598-0725 before making your final decision.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into open houses, we want to leave you with one last thought. Creating a welcoming space. It's not just about a checklist.
It's about going deeper.
It's about tapping into your senses, your emotions, the story you want your home to tell. What makes it special?
It's about making it a reflection of you.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into open houses. We hope you learned a few things and feel inspired to create a space that you absolutely love.
Whether you're selling or staying put, the goal is to make it a home.
Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We will be back with something new and something interesting.